Hi everybody, it's Hoyt, and I'm going to be sharing a dream I had about 4 or 5 days ago. It's actually two dreams, but one I drew, and the dreams had to do with meat. So, yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it. So, the first dream that I had about 4 or 5 days ago was me and I assume a buddy driving to like a fancy restaurant at nighttime, and we were in a silver Chevy and it had like big tires. So basically, me and this buddy were driving to this restaurant. And we arrive at the restaurant and we walk in, and we didn't walk in to order any food. We were actually walking through the restaurant really fast for some reason. Like we were oddly in a hurry. But the next scene of this dream, it cut, and me and my buddy were up here, like in the actual restaurant. But the next scene, me and my buddy were like in an underground tunnel or something, and it looked very dingy, and it was like concrete with like bricks or something. It looked like a dungeon or something crazy. But basically, me and my buddy, we ended up in this big hallway, essentially this big like tunnel, and we saw all these doors on both sides of this tunnel, and we were like, you know what, we should go see what's inside of these rooms. So we walk into this room, and as soon as we walk in, we see people hanging up on meat hooks in this restaurant. And there I am, there he is. I don't know who this guy was, but he was like blonde. He was taller than me, and there I was. And as soon as we saw this, we were like freaked out. We couldn't believe it. And as soon as this happened, we were like, oh my gosh, these people are eating people in this restaurant. These people that were eating, they had no clue that this is the meat that they were eating, and these people were like skinned or something. I don't know. But as soon as we discovered this room and this underground looking tunnel, one of the people in the restaurant were coming after us with a knife, and I drew him right here. He was chasing us through this tunnel, and we actually escaped the restaurant. We made it out alive, and we got back in that silver Chevy and took off. By the end of the dream, we were fine, and we sped off. But I think that guy was trying to kill us because he didn't want the truth to get out that this restaurant, this was actually a fancy restaurant. People were wearing suits and eating steak and all that. And they were feeding people. I couldn't believe it. That was my dream about 4 or 5 days ago, but I also had another dream that I want to share with you guys. So this other dream that I had, it actually took place in my bedroom where I'm at right now. And I was sitting in my bed and I had a plate full of food. There was like rice, like some sort of yellow colored rice, and meat on my plate. And I don't eat meat anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore because God showed me not to. But basically in this dream, I was eating this plate full of meat, and this meat was cut up in little pieces. And as I was eating the meat, I noticed there was this green substance coming out of the meat. The meat was kind of white in color, but there was this green liquid coming out of the meat. It almost looked like the color of like olive oil. And yeah, and then I just woke up from that dream. So that second dream, I was like, what was that? So when I woke up, I told my buddy about this dream, and the detail about the meat being green, it made him think of the movie Soylent Green. And I actually recently watched that movie. And in that movie, the Soylent Green, the wafer crackers in that dream that the people eat, it's actually people. It's human. And I was like, oh, I get it. God was, like it was symbolic. God was alluding to the fact that the meat I was eating in the dream was people. The meat was green. It was a reference to the movie Soylent Green. I was like, oh, that makes sense. So yeah, I had two dreams that there's restaurants selling people, and people don't even know it. And I had that dream about the green meat. It was, I'm sure it was a reference to Soylent Green. Um, if there's one thing if there's any advice I could give you guys, it would be to go vegetarian, because, when you're eating meat, you never know what kind of meat that is, because a lot of it looks the same when it's cooked. And to be quite honest, I wouldn't want to bite into a piece of meat and not know if it's an animal or a human. But here's the thing. We were actually never designed to eat meat. In the Bible, Genesis 1:29, God gave us our commanded diet, which is vegetarian. We were never supposed to eat meat. The first to actually eat meat were the Nephilim giants. Now, if you think about it, when the Nephilim giants were around, like in Noah's day, these things were big, really big, like anywhere from 15 foot tall or bigger, over 1,000 pounds, 1,200 pounds. And if you think about it, you can't really feed a humongous giant people food like apples and fruits and vegetables. It wouldn't be enough for something that big. But if a giant saw a cow or a big animal, it would definitely be enough for that giant. And what had happened was these giants started eating animals and cooking them. And eventually they showed the humans, the people, how to cook the meat. And that's how meat eating came about. That's how it started. We were actually never intended to eat meat, but, later down the line, come to, fast forward to present day, and everyone's eating meat. It's just normal. It's normalized. But I tell you this, if there's anything you could do, it'd be go vegetarian, because you never know what you're eating. To be quite honest, unless it's whole food like fruits and vegetables, then you know what you're eating. If you have a banana or an apple, you're like, okay, this is just a banana. This is an apple. Or if you're eating a piece of meat that's cooked, that's seasoned and all this stuff, you never really know what you're eating, right? But there's one other thing that I want to add. I was shown in many dreams that meat eating will have people left behind. I've seen this in many dreams. So go vegetarian. Like, I urge you guys, go vegetarian. Read Genesis 1:29. That's our commanded diet. But yeah, those were my 2 dreams. They're very definitely pretty scary, pretty graphic. I know I don't know how many people are going to see this video, but if you do, I'm warning you that there's something going on with the meat. And what I saw in this dream was pretty horrifying. Well, both dreams. But yeah, that was it. So do with that information what you must. And hey, if you guys don't believe me, I mean, you can baptize yourself. You can do that and pray to God and ask, is this true? Is what I'm saying, is it true? And believe it or not, you can baptize yourself. See, before Jesus started his ministry, he had to be baptized, and he was baptized by John the Baptist. But who baptized John the Baptist? Well, he baptized himself. And it's legit. You can do it. I'm telling you, if you baptize yourself and ask God, and you believe in what you're asking about, God will show you. So, yeah, this is just a warning as to what pertained to these 2 dreams. And yeah, so take it or leave it. But I'm just trying to help everyone and get the word out. So that was it. So goodbye, and God bless you guys.